Sgt Robert Bob Grange Military Medal Royal Engineers attached to 36 Ulster Division. I was born in 1896 and was 18 when the war broke out. I was then in the Ulster Volunteer Force. I had to add a year to my age to enlist into the new army, since the required age was 19. I had 8 brothers and sisters, all farmers, but my father was a paper maker in the local paper mill. I joined the Royal Engineers, the Signal Company, on the first day of recruitment. 53 of us joined up from my small village of Ballyclare. We trained at Clandeboy in 1914. The division was exceptionally well trained. Kitchener said it was the best trained division of the new army. We were inspected by the King a few days before we went out. Well, of course, when we first went out, the trenches were in an awful state. There were no duckboards and no drainage. The result was that we were going along up to our knees in mud when it rained. The sleeping quarters were rough, very rough sometimes, and the whole front was infested with rats. Terrific big brutes they were too. On the 1st of July 1916, a terrible mistake was made. We were meant to go at 3:30 a.m, but the French asked for it to be delayed until 7:30 a.m. to see if the artillery had cut the wires. It hadn't, but we still had to go. We had to attack a great fortification the Germans had built, the Schwaben Redoubt, and they said it couldn't be taken. They were very definite about that, and it had to be attacked, and it was. That day, the Ulster Division was the only one to reach their objectives. The local men of the 12th Royal Irish Rifles of the Ulster Division were on the left of our sector, and they were on the right of the 29th Division. The local men had the longest part of no man's land to cover, and had to do it in broad daylight because of the delay. They made 3 charges that day and got slaughtered, and out of the small community of Ballyclare, 30 men were killed and 100 wounded. Some men went over the top shouting, "No surrender!" At that time I was attached to a brigade of French artillery and looked after their forward communications. A French war correspondent described the Ulster men as entering the battle as enthusiastic young sportsmen who emerged as professional soldiers. He was correct. This was our first engagement, and we learnt a lot from it. I went back to the Somme on the 60th anniversary of the battle, and to be frank, it was emotional. That day, I was signing the visitors' book at the Ulster Tower, and I remembered I had signed the visitors' book at Helen's Tower in 1914, so my name is in both towers.